Every day at 12 noon Eastern time. You can always catch the episodes on YouTube and listen on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. Check it out on iTunes. Just type in Swolenormous everywhere. Swolenormous everywhere. All the episodes everywhere.
The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. The bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Rocking out, but live here, 12 noon Eastern time. Putting these glasses back on. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt you. You know how those lasers go. I got to be careful. It's going through my glasses. Welcome everyone to episode 474 of the Daily Sleazy, the most muscular swolecast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. So I hope you got your coffee. I hope you got your beard. If you don't, just stop shaving. It'll grow eventually. We hope, right? We hope. And today's episode is more about compensations. It's more about movement patterns because this week is about fixing your body. This week is about fixing the problems. It's about fixing what hurts you. It's about fixing from the ground up. In today's episode, we're going to talk about fixing from the ground up. And someone actually, I forget if it was on Instagram or here in one of the comments, someone actually mentioned something kind of funny. They said, dude, you're getting close to 100,000 Facebook likes. I said, you know what, you're right. I said, that's pretty fucking awesome considering it was far from it last year when we started this journey. And also said that you're getting close to episode 500. And asked me, which do you think you're going to get to first? Do you think you're going to get to episode 500? Or do you think you're going to get to 100 Facebook likes? And I said, I don't give a shit. That's what I answered. I said, I don't give a shit. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of funny how it's like, yeah, it's growing fast and it's getting close to episode 500. So I thought it could be a little bit of a fun kind of observation that now the person's comment kind of made me want to get there. I was like, I never thought about it. Thanks for bringing it up. I don't care. It doesn't matter. We're growing. We're getting stronger. We're dropping knowledge nukes. We're making sick fucking gains. That's all that matters. But now that you put it into my brain, it's like, cool, because I'm very competitive with myself. I'm very competitive, and I always like to kind of one-up myself, and I like everything to grow and to be awesome. And now they put that into my brain. I'm like, yeah. So I'll tell you what. Let's share this broadcast. Let's see. Now I kind of want to get there before episode 500, but just putting it out there into the universe that if we share the broadcast and like the broadcast like we normally do, I think that won't, I don't think that'll be a problem. I think we'll achieve that. So make sure if you're watching this, if you like the Daily Swole, if you like the Swole, if you like making sick gains, if you want other people to make sick gains too, it's all about, like, you want to show me the most love. Let's just put it this way. You like the stuff, you want to show me the most love, hitting that share button. Hitting that share button is the most love that you can show. You can hit the thumbs, you can hit the hearts, but when you share this broadcast, it means the fucking world. It means the fucking world. How many of those 100,000 likes are engaged? A lot. A lot, dude. A lot. Not everyone watches the show live, but a lot. In terms of percentages, a lot of people will follow a page. A lot of people will be a part of a community, and I've seen people with many more likes that have absolutely no engagement and no interaction on anything that a page posts. So the interaction on this page is phenomenal, and it's all thanks to you. So I just wanted to say thank you, love you, and yeah, share the broadcast. Let's spread the word of Swole. Let's make this the next 25 episodes up until episode 500. I just hit the light. Let's make this up to 500. Let's make it the month of the share. Let's make the share the fucking awesome thing that we do. Let's just fucking pound that share button, spread the word of Swole. Let's just be like fucking gaining missionaries and just run around being like, you want to make sick gains? You got to watch his broadcast. You want to check out this guy with a beard? You got to watch his broadcast. You want to flex your biceps? You got to watch his broadcast. Anyway, so thank you so much. Remember, Thursday. So yeah, share the fuck out of it. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. Thank you. It means the world. Now, In terms of this Thursday, remember Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time is the live workshop in my premium group. So it is the movement assessment workshop. And yesterday we were talking about the cumulative injury cycle and that pattern where you go around and around and around in this cycle of getting hurt, moving improperly, having compensations, having imbalances, getting hurt again. And that's the reason why you, your friends, people you know, chronically throw out their back, chronically pull their hamstrings, hurt their ankle, chronic neck pain. Any kind of chronic pain is usually preventable. It's because you're not taking care of the problem. So doing things like putting inserts in your shoes, wearing braces, getting massages, some of these things are just temporary fixes, a temporary feel good, and then it comes back. But shouldn't we be paying attention to the source of the problem, right? Shouldn't we be paying attention to the source of the problem? Now, what I want to do with this community, what I want to do with this workshop on Thursday, what I want to do with all of you, and today is let's look at the source. So we got to go back to the source of the problem. We got to figure out where the problem starts, that fucking ground zero point. Because if you're just putting Band-Aids on the problem, if you're just taking a pill, or medication or ibuprofen or something like that, all these things that are garbage for the body, you're not fixing the fact that you're getting punched in the leg. You're not fixing the fact that you're getting burned with a hot poker. You have to fix where the pain and where the injury is coming from. You have to fix the source. You have to know where that source is and why that source is occurring. So yesterday, if you didn't catch episode 473, if you didn't catch 473, I highly recommend that after this Swolecast, you swipe and scroll down and watch 473, because 473 is going to give you a lot of insight in what we're talking today. It's a sequence. So yesterday, we're talking about why you might have some of those injuries, why you might have some of those movement impairments, those repetitive movements because you're sitting down too often. Because you're sitting down in a chair, because you're sitting down in a car, because you're stagnant, you're not moving. You're not moving. And you're doing the same thing over again. So those habits, the source is the habits. And the bad habits, it's the bad habits. It's the ones that suck, the ones that keep you hunched over at a desk, the ones that keep you hunched over in a car, the ones that lock you into position over and over and over and over again. The ones that lock you into position over and over again, or into the same type of movement, because the body is meant to have a breadth of movement, a vast array of movement. And when it lacks that, you get that kind of impairment because the body gets overworked in certain aspects. So certain muscles get too tight, certain parts of the joint will be imbalanced, and you get this kind of scale effect, right? Where it's not even. It's not even. It's skewed. Okay? You get this effect, and then when things become imbalanced, then you start having injuries, you start having problems. And that's no good. That's no good. It's time to stop covering shit up. It's time to stop covering shit up. It's time to stop. Same thing that we've been talking about nutrition. It's time to stop accepting inflammation. It's time to stop accepting discomfort. It's time to stop accepting diarrhea and having brutal shits and stomach cramps and bloating. This is not normal. That's not normal to eat food and feel like that. It's not normal to sit all day and have back pain. It's not normal to have chronic back pain. It's normal, it's common, but it shouldn't happen. You shouldn't have chronic knee pain. You shouldn't have chronic hamstring tears. You shouldn't have chronic neck pain. I got an itch on my shoulder. There we go. Now I can continue. You shouldn't have that. You shouldn't be having these chronic issues. I mean, we accept amazing amounts of shit and we attribute to, I'm getting old. I work out hard and, those damn kids, man. Well, you're going to grow up and be a fucking wreck. You're going to be riddled with diseases. You'll be riddled with pain and immobility. And if that's the way you want to go, then enjoy eating your crap, enjoy doing shitty exercise, enjoy just being ignorant the rest of your life. I think you're better than that. I think you can do it. I know you can do it. And I don't want you to take any blame for this because you're not taught this. You're not taught this growing up. This is not something that we are aware of, naturally. We're just put into this society, into this wheel that we have to get around, we have to work through. So let's talk about fixing things from the ground up. So just like a car, I'm gonna draw a really bad picture of a car. It's actually better than I thought it would turn out, okay? Now, the interesting thing about this, well, hold on, let me draw the window. And there's Papa Swole. For some reason, you can see my whole body in the car. I don't know why, just go with it. This is a car. Now, it's the same thing as a human body. I'm just gonna use this as the same correlation so you can connect the two. The only part of the car, you can have the fastest engine, you can have the nicest paint job, you can have the most swole person in the front seat. The only part of the car that touches the ground is the tire, right? This is the only part of the car that touches the ground. So you can have $1 million car. You can have the most expensive car. You can have the fastest car. You can have all the coolest inside. Wow, that leather is so sweet, man. Oh, look at all the cup holders, man. You know, you can swing your dick with all that stuff. But the only part of the car that touches the ground. So people get these fancy cars, you know, and awesome paint jobs and big rims, and they get cheap tires and they go off the fucking road. So if you have a $500,000 Ferrari and you put $100 tires on because you used all your money buying the car and you don't have any more money for tires, the car is gonna spin off the road and it's gonna be crap. Tires are really the most important part of your car. It's the only part of the car that makes contact with the ground. Right? The only part of the car that makes contact with the ground. So it goes to show that tires are really the most important thing. Doesn't matter how fast the car is, you're not sticking to the earth well, you're gonna fucking die. So it's very important that you have that. So when you have a human body, when you have a person, let's draw the ground again, right? The only part of a person, unless you're a gorilla, is the feet. The only part of the person that touches the ground are the feet. So you can have issues coming from two different places because we're not always standing, right? We're standing or we're sitting. So we can have issues stemming from two major areas. Coming from the hips, of course, this person's arms are coming from the hips. Man, I'm not drawing the weirdest people. The arms are stemming from the hips, right? There we go. Now we're better. Okay, so you can have issues coming from two major areas. The ground and the hips. Because if you're sitting down a lot, like you're driving a car or whatever, if you're sitting down a lot, this is a point of contact. You're creating pressure, you're creating imbalance, you're creating a bend, you're creating a flexion in the hip, okay? And over time, that creates an imbalance because you're shortening things on one side, lengthening and inhibiting with pressure on the other side. And that's something we've talked about, and that's something we're gonna continue to talk about. I'm not gonna get too much into all that detail because we still have the next day or two before the workshop on Thursday to go over it and how you guys can take this information, do an assessment on yourself, and figure out which areas you need to work on the most and what exercise to do. And that's what we're doing on Thursday. That's why this is exciting. Because it's not just like, hey, you guys have problems, you know, good luck with that shit, that's gonna suck. You know, that's not how I'm playing this. That's how I'm playing this, like good luck with that. No, I'm setting this up because you're gonna go into the physical, like this is what you need to do. This is how you figure it out. And these are the exercises you should be doing. These are the exercises that you should be doing based on your own test. So I'm very big on customization. I'm very big on taking nutrition and customizing it for you. I'm very big on exercise and customizing it for the person because you are the only one that needs to do it that way. You're the only one that needs to fucking care. You're the only one that should be paying attention to this. You're the only one that needs to worry about what you have because it's you. And if you care about living your life without pain and fixing these problems, you have to know exactly what you're doing. Don't do what I'm doing. You need to do what you need to do. And if you have a more severe form of what I have, you need to focus on it more. Because I get some questions like, well, Papa Swole, how much corrective exercise do I do with my strength training? Do I just get rid of all the resistance training I'm doing, just focus on this corrective? Or can I do both at the same time? And it depends. It depends on the severity. It depends on what the effect of having this imbalance is for you. Like if you're really in that much pain all the time, if you are if you're really out of balance, if it's causing a lot of distress, it could be more important for you to take care of it immediately and focus all your energy on it. So that the severity of that matters as well. So you have two areas majorly that cause problems, the hips and the feet. And why do the hips get all, or the feet get all imbalanced? It's because we elevate we elevate our feet with shoes. So I'm gonna draw like a high heel here, okay? You have a high heel. It doesn't really matter even if it's a high heel, it's a heel of a sneaker. It doesn't really matter, okay? So we're elevating the heel, which is throwing off the entire system. So when you're standing up and you're wearing high-heeled shoes, when you're wearing sneakers, when you're wearing an elevated heel, it causes an imbalance at the ankle. So that's gonna change, just like Jenga, it's gonna change the balance of your body all the way up, so it's bad, okay? Also with the hips, when you're creating this imbalance here, the hips and having this be out of place from sitting down too often, this can have an issue upwards and also can have issues downwards. So you can have a problem at the hip that's gonna translate to a problem at the ankle. And you could also have a problem at the hip that's gonna translate up to the spine and to the neck and to the head. So the hips are also very important because when you're sitting down, you can create an imbalance that actually affects above the hips and below the hips. It spreads. It spreads. And think of anything. Think of like that game Jenga with blocks. You pull out one side, you have to pull out the other side to create a balance. And the body will do everything. The body will do everything. Everything in its power. I want to make this very clear, so I'm coming up to the camera. The body will do everything in its power to keep the eyes level with the horizon, to keep your body level. You will never see someone walking down the street like this. You'll see them all bent, and you'll see their head with alignment. Your body wants to keep everything lined up with the eyes. You ever try watching TV with your head sideways? It's fucking weird. Your body doesn't really like that. So you have to you lay on the couch sideways and you prop your head up on a pillow like this, okay? So your body wants to keep eyes level on the horizon. So your body will do everything to adjust and to balance in order to do so. And when you have issues from wearing shoes and high heels and sneakers and high tops and stuff like that, you're creating an imbalance here. The only place your body touches the ground, the only place your body touches the ground, the only place that your physical person touches the ground, balances, and supports all the structures above it. The only place you touch the ground, and you're doing so with poor alignment. You're elevating the heel and you're fucking up the balance already. Like the first point of contact that you have with the ground, you're creating an imbalance. So you're already like setting yourself up for, a rough time because you're not training and evening that out. Like you're setting yourself up all day with heels or with elevated heels that are putting yourself out of balance. And then when you're sitting down, you're creating more imbalance here, so it's compounding down here and also affecting up the neck and the back and creating more pressure on the spine, the lower spine, more pressure here. So people chronically have pain here, chronic pain here, and not to mention now you add all this with phones and texting, and now you're starting to get pain with the neck because the eyes start, you start looking down, you start turning the head down and slouching. So we lose a lot of mobility in the thoracic spine. We lose a lot of mobility where we're supposed to because it goes off one principle, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow. And I've talked about it before, but it's important to mention it again, that the body is going to alternate stability and mobility. The body is going to do two things, stability and mobility. That's the two things that the body wants to do. It wants to stabilize certain areas and it wants to mobilize other areas. That's what the body wants to do. The problem is when the body starts or is forced to create stability, or you put mobile joints, you're putting joints that should be more mobile and you're putting them in very stable environments where they're not moving, you stiffen them up. That is when things go fucking sideways, because then the body is forced to look for mobility in joints that are already supposed to be stable. So then you start getting a little bit more rotation and a little bit more movement in the lower back. You start getting more movement and more slack in the knee. Your body starts looking and starts twisting, and forces start becoming dissipated around joints that shouldn't rotate, like the knee. Joints that shouldn't rotate, like the lower back. Areas that should be more stable are becoming more mobile because the force has nowhere else to go. You're trying to turn the middle of your back, the thoracic spine is locked up because you're in place all day. The hips are locked up, so that tension gets dispersed to the lower back and you start pulling muscles in your lower back. Or you twist and you pop a knee, or your knee pops, or you tear a ligament, or you sprain your knee or something like that because you're losing the stability where it should be stable, and the force is not dispersing properly because the right areas are not moving properly. So it comes down to reteaching the body, learning why you're in this situation, learning why the body has these types of imbalances, learning what you can do about it, and then taking action. So it's one thing to be like, oh yeah, I sit down a lot. Oh, I stand up a lot. Oh, I do have pain. It's a whole other thing to actually pay attention and take some fucking ownership for it and fixing it. Because I'm giving you the information. Now, if you listen to this and just go on with your life and doing your normal thing, you're going to be fucked eventually. Like, honestly, it's going to happen. You're going to be, in 10 years, 20 years, you'll be like, oh shit, my back hurts, this. You're going to fuck yourself over by not taking this stuff seriously, because this is the stuff that gets me frustrated when people don't pay attention to, because it will help you more than anything else you're going to read in a magazine, more than any other kind of heavy weights and things like that. Do you want pain or do you not want pain? Do you have pain? Would you like to get rid of the pain? Would you like to help repair yourself? This is very important stuff, and that's what we're going to be doing all week. And those of you that are in premium, that have done the other workshops, that have seen success with this already, drop in the comments below. Let everyone else know that this is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is real shit. This is real training. This is real correctives. These are real things you can do, you can apply, and see change right away. So if you've seen some benefits from this already, drop a couple comments down below and let everyone know that this is not just smoke. This is not just, hey, you sit down a lot, you're going to have problems. No. This is like, how are we going to address that? How are we going to fix it? How are we going to minimize these issues and get your body back on the right track? So this Thursday, 8 p.m., fucking workshop, movement assessment workshop. I'm going to show you how you can assess yourselves and determine what you need to do to improve your movement patterns, create mobility where there should be mobility, and stiffen up and stabilize areas that should be stiffened up and stabilized. So we're going to create that retraining and that reteaching with the body on Thursday, but specific to you. I want you to see firsthand, oh shit, this is me. This is what I'm doing. It's not a joke. Like, I really, my body really does this. When I try this movement, my body does X, Y, and Z. I need to pay more attention to this. I need to improve this, and the importance of it will be shown. So Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Link is in the description, premium.swolenormous.com. You can try it for free. It's an awesome group. You get access to all the workshops and the community, the one-on-one calls with me, with Papa Swolio, as well as amazing other content and videos in the group. Awesome support system. But this is coming up on Thursday, so do not wait to join ASAP. Premium is fucking on point. So Thursday, 8 p.m., premium workshop, premium.swolenormous.com. Link in the description. Thank you so much for joining for episode 474 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Live every day, 12 noon Eastern time, YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Just type in Swolenormous everywhere, and you'll find Papa Swolio. I'll see you also on Instagram stories, and I will see everyone tomorrow for episode 475. Peace, McGee's, deuce, magoose. See you manana.